Welcome, gentlemen. It's been a long time since I've been here on the podcast. And no further ado, all you fellas out there who listen to the podcast for years, I'd like to do a little music introduction. So let's start this bad boy here real quick. Just give me a second. And let's start this bad boy here.
That's hot.
What's going on, Sigma? Welcome, sir. Welcome to the podcast. Full blast. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to KenDeRican podcast. I've been gone, I haven't done, live stream, podcast, whatever you want to call it, in quite some time. I'm busy and shit like that. I'm just like your average man going their own way. I do my grind, I do this thing, so on and so forth, right? But I do observation. That's what I do. That's what I do. I do a lot of observations regarding to social media, regarding to all this stuff, worldwide, you name it, I'm just your average man. That's it. No more, no less. Just your average Joe. And I've been doing this observation with Nicolas Fuentes, which means in Spanish, fountain. Fuente means fountain in Spanish, right? And I've been seeing this cat for quite some time. And to put this in perspective, I like the dude. I like his style. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a shit. He's just like your average man out there who's doing the same observation like me. But he's way younger than me, I got kids almost his same age, 26, 24, and shit like that. Now they giving these men all kinds of grief and shit like that. Oh, he's racist. Oh, he's whatever fuck shit they come with, whatever they make up, anti-Semitic and all this shit and all this stuff, you know. But motherfuckers, don't we have the First Amendment? We can talk shit all we want. Listen, gentlemen, I've been banned not only from YouTube, Twitter, and subreddit. So I know how these censorship happens. Trust me, I know. That's why sometimes, you know, sometimes I don't put the live stream out here because, like, why bother? If I can express my First Amendment right, so what the fuck? What am I doing this? First of all, I never got no sponsor. Second of all, I never got no how you call this stuff back in the days? Where people volunteer to give out money and shit like that, all that stuff. None of that shit. All I want to do is just talk shit and be truthful with it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. And I follow him in Rumble. And I like his shit. I really like his style. Because he tell how it is. None of this nonsense and bullshit and stuff like that. None of it. Just talk shit. Who cannot deal with stuff, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them all. That's how it goes. His opinion, whatever. And obviously, the censorship can stop the truth. Or not so much the truth, but what people is in their mind thinking about. So I like Nicolas Fuentes, a.k.a. Fountain. I call him Nicolas Fountain. Fountain in Spanish means Fuentes. Okay. Cool. So obviously he has studied the philosophy of men going their own way. He proclaimed to himself to be an incel. But I highly doubt it he's an incel. Because, to be honest, he can get any chick, especially in the last whatever years he's been doing this thing. He can get any chick that he wants to. Let's be honest. He's a young guy, intelligent, smart, witty, and stuff like that. But I think that he look, you know, because this is what I do. I do an observation, right? And I'm thinking, what are they thinking, right? And my subconscious mind, I think that he thinks that he knows that the law against marriage and stuff like that is against men in Western society. And it is true. It is true. And he gets it. He gets it, you know. But he calls himself an incel, but I don't think he is an incel because obviously he's popular, so he can get any chick that he wants to. I think he's just a man going their own way and doing his own thing and shit like that. But, you know, that's my observation of Nicolas Fuentes, a.k.a. Fountain. And to put this in perspective, me, as myself, for years, I've been beating this drum with the state of Israel. Me, myself. For years. At least 15 to 20 years, to be honest. To be honest. I know they're going to call me anti-Semitic and all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. You know? But what he says on his live stream, I can relate. We've been calling Free Palestine for the last 20 years. For the last 20 years, man. It's an apartheid state. It's an apartheid state. Free Palestine for the last 20 years. Me as a young man. Back then, we had a clue who's doing the oppressing of the Palestinian people, but we didn't know it was such a large scale, at least for myself. At least it's polluted and corrupted in every government branch there is. The state of Israel. You know? But I like Nicolas Fuentes. I like him. Just like I used to like Donald Trump on the first term. He told them how it is. We went to war in Iraq. We spent this and that. And now, at the second term, he's a fucking pussy. He's a fucking pussy. He did. He flipped the cards. Which I knew he was going to do anyways. Because I knew he was a Zionist to begin with. I knew this shit. I know about Zionism for the last 25 years. And you know who taught me about Zionism? Believe it or not. Believe it or not. As a young man. Farrakhan. Farrakhan taught me about Zionism. Me watching on TV. This is years ago. This is not new. Not to me. Yes, Farrakhan. The Nation of Islam. So, all those years, because I'm a curious man. I want to learn from here, this, that, and put different perspective in my brain and trying to figure out something that it makes sense, it doesn't make sense, does it correlate, does not correlate, you know, and trying to make the best decision for myself. Now, moving forward, when I see all these disgusting atrocity against humanity, against human being, live stream and stuff like that. Yes, Yes, man. You have to be pissed off. If Nicolas Fuentes don't like Jews, well, guess what? He had the right to say so. He don't like Zionists, he got the right to say so. Me, I do not like organized religion at all. Because they're all polluted and all corrupted. I'm not an atheist either. I want to call myself, if I can call myself, a Gnostic Christian. That's it. I'm not a group thinking and stuff like that. If I want to pick up something that is spiritual, I got the Quran here. I got the Bible here. And got the book of other books out here. So I don't believe in the clan mentality, like the Israelites and stuff, so-called Israelis, fake, whatever. Now, do I disagree with Mr. Nicolas Fountain in some things? Of course I do, you know. Do you have the right to say what the fuck he wants to say? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. No doubt about it. And the only reason that I'm talking about him is his, what, 25, 20, 26, I think, I believe, 26. And he's very smart. And not only that, he gets how the government works, especially for men. Because I'm watching the interview with Tucker, and Tucker was like, what about marriage? And what about this? And he was like, well, what about that? He called about the divorce law. He named a lot of shit that us MGTOW we talked about for many years, right? And I'm thinking to myself, shit, this motherfucker, he's the real, he's the real McCoy, you know? Because same thing he was out there with Candace Owens. And Candace, how come you're not married? How come you not? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Who he fuck, or he want to marry, or who his girlfriend is, or whatnot. Who gives a fuck? Tell me, who gives a fuck? He's doing his own shit. And he's shaking out the world. A single man shaking the world. Everybody know now who Nick Fuente is. A single man. Shaking the establishment, man. Just one dude. Non-married. Live by himself. Probably got security and all kinds of shit. They tried to kill him. They tried to kill Tucker. They kill this other fella out there on the public square, for God's sake. on the public square, on a university. Murder him for the eyes to see, for the world to see. You know? I can cover the sun with my hand. I cannot. I cannot do that. No, I can't. So, in the last 3 months, you know, I'm looking at all these events that be taking place, and I'm doing a psychological analysis in my brain myself, right? Because I'm just one man out here, just like you are, gentlemen. You go to the work, you do this thing. Some of you guys got children and shit like that, whatever, you know, and stuff like that. And you know, as for me, I'm trying to make the sense of the chaos and bullshit and nonsense. Whoever bring into this country or life or whatever, you know. Just trying to make common sense. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. I'm just trying to connect the dots. And when I smell bullshit, I know I know what's bullshit. It's not fucking cake. It's not cake. It's not candles. It's not whatever aroma there is. It's bullshit. And I am very allergic to bullshit. You know why I'm allergic to bullshit? I'll tell you why. Because the media have lied to me for many years. The government had lied to me for many years. So I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of everything. Everything. I don't believe in shit. Which, my thinking is, if it's not happening at my front door, I don't give a fuck. But then I got to look at the respect them in different ways. Something out there can affect me, or something out there, they need to be brought on into the point of view for the world to see. That's how I see this thing. There's no other way to see it. If you gentlemen thought that I just went out in a relationship and stuff like that, no, I'm more busy than ever. Because I don't trust shit. I don't even trust my own shadow. Wait, my own shadow. Hold on. Where'd it go? Okay, it's right here. Okay, the shadow's right here. I'm looking at my shadow. But regarding to Nicolas Fuente, go follow him and Rumble. And fucking just listen to his shit. To be honest, and I'm going to be fucking honest, I agree with 90% what he say. 90%. Because why? I know history. I know how the state of Israel was created after World War II. I know this and that and shit like that. I done my diddy, okay? I done my diddy for years. But now, people are waking up to the shenanigans and bullshit. What the corporations are doing to the people, what the state of Israel is doing to the people, and so many factors that I can even account for. The financial, what it done to the people. You know, I forgot the name of the comedian, and just bear with me because it's kind of late. And I do work for a living, and unfortunately, I have to pay my fucking taxes and shit like that. Unfortunately, because I'm a libertarian for the last 15 years. And my collective thought went to hell in a handbasket, so just bear with me, gentlemen. It's late, and I'm just in a, you know, and I'm tired. I'm fatigued and stuff like that. Back to the point that I'm trying to make. Let's see here. I think I'll put it up in the laptop right here on the brain. The laptop in the brain. Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Just fuck it. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The whole system is polluted. It's polluted. It is polluted. If you have one young man out there not giving a fuck and tell it how it is, fuck it. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I agree with him 90%. I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a shit. Hell, when I watch his stuff, sometimes I was like, hey, man, dude, I agree with you, man. Hey, I'm not mad at you at all. You can't even say shit about the Zionists and the state of Israel and nothing, because everything is anti-Semitic. Nowadays, everything is anti-Semitic. The Zionists, it's a difference between the Zionists and the people who practice Judaism. It's a difference. It goes back He goes back to the, if you study and read books, which I have, about Zionism, it started like 1898. It goes way back. And this plan was implemented years ago to go to the state of Palestine. What they call it, the state of Israel. But not many people know this knowledge. They don't know. They use, I mean, for God's sake. The state of Israel was implemented in 1948. 1946. No, 48. After World War II. So they planned this shit a long time ago. And they're all Eastern Europeans. The fake Israelis, the white folk. The white folk. Let's be honest. They are white folk. And I'm not saying that white folk is bad. I'm not talking about that stuff. But see, most people don't make common sense. Because they look at Israel as a state, right? And then look Palestine. He was like, how come, which, you know, Palestine, they got a diversity because they do have light-skinned people, but with green eyes and shit like that. But how come these people look like this way and these people look like that way? With their brown and stuff that was there before this stuff and shit like that? You know? Let's put this in perspective. I've seen plenty of videos in Tel Aviv before all this stuff happened. Matter of fact, in Tel Aviv, they had a salsa club. And how I was thinking, how in the fuck they got a salsa club in Tel Aviv? But then I made the connection. Oh, they do have Jew people living in New York who got dual citizen. They probably open up a salsa club out there. This is like 10 years ago. I was shocked by it. Tel Aviv had a salsa club?
Power off.
I'm like, holy shit. This is crazy. It was a YouTube video. I was like, holy fuck. And then that's in salsa and shit. And merengue and all kinds of stuff. But I digress. I just happen to mention this stuff because I found it like very interesting. Back then, it was like, how the fuck this happened? But anyways. Let's go back to my collective thought with Nick Fuente. Like I say, I don't agree too much with, not too much, some of the stuff that he said, but I agree with a lot of stuff he had to say. Because it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, maybe it's a Catholic thing, right? Maybe it's a Catholic thing. Maybe I'm just being biased here. But I was born and raised as Catholic. And I went to my CC studies and shit like that and all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. And I went to mass and went up and down on my knees and stuff like that, and took the bread and all kinds of shit, you know. And by the time I'll be honest, by the time I was 13, I was so disgusting and so over with religious shit. I was. But then I'm watching the interview with him and Tucker. And he put this in perspective, which I find it very fascinating. Why the Zionist Jews are against the Roman Empire, which means the Vatican. And I was like, holy shit. I never made that connection before. You know, I never made that. In my mind, my mind was so blown by that shit. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I never connected dots. And then I said to myself, oh, this makes sense. It makes sense. And I'll tell you how it's going to make sense. As a grown-up Christian, and like I told you previously, as a Catholic and stuff like that, well, according to the New Testaments and the Old Bible, that the Jews sacrificed Christ for the Romans. Not to get too much in theology, but if you look at it, you know, it was empire, you know, the Roman Empire and so on and so forth, right? But it kind of correlates. It just kind of makes sense to me, you know, especially nowadays where they trying to, the state of Israel trying to have the great Israel empire on the Middle East. And guess what? That's not going to work out. It's not going to work out for them. Matter of fact, Bibi and the whole state of Israel can fuck off. The whole state of Israel can fuck off. They committed genocide against the Palestinian people. And I do believe in God. Don't get me wrong. I'm spiritual, but I believe in God. And God will seek justice for killings of the innocent. Babies, men, women, bomb them like they bomb their fucking neighbors just because they want to conquer the land. And their thinking or ideology, they're going to create these great empire in the Middle East. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, I know the reason that I like Nick Fuentes, because he knows history. He knows about Hitler. He knows about Stalin. I raised my hand. I lived in Germany for 5 years. So I have to learn German history in a military school and a military base out there. So I know a lot of Western history in Europe. That's why I speak 3 languages. You know, the thing is so fucking bizarre for me, right? And let's put this in respect. Let's be gentlemen about it. So, according to modern history, which I can go back to Zionism since 1889 or something like that, right? But let's put this in perspective. So the Nazis, right? The Nazis, quote unquote, and I'll put this in quote unquote, Nazis, excuse me, did this so-called genocide or Holocaust, whatever you want to call it, right? Okay. I do not believe the numbers, by the way. I don't believe 6 million so-called Jews was murdered and stuff like that. Not by the Germans, maybe by Stalin or something like that, but whatever. Okay, fine, dandy. Let's put this in perspective. Let's be honest. Okay, they claim 6 million. Okay, fine, 6 million, right? So they go to the promised land, which is Israel, which is Palestine, the state of Palestine, which it was given up by the British Empire and the Rothschild. But I digress. My apologies. So if the Nazis, quote unquote, genocide 6 million Jews, right? Does it make any sense? These people travel from Europe to Palestine and trying to do the same like they're doing the Palestinian? Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. Don't you want to be humble with your neighbors? Don't you want to be humane? Understand each other. Instead, murdering kids and babies and stuff like that, which in a land is not theirs. So they escape from Europe, right, to the Middle East. Because Europe genocides them. So now they're doing a genocide in the Middle East. Now, what kind of evil shit is that? What kind of evil shit is that? Well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure hanging out with you tonight. Like I always say, peace, stay MGTOW. I will catch you next podcast, live streaming, and video. Let the universe be with you. I'm out.